Welcome. We want to welcome Arzu today. She's going to teach us how to turn kids' drawings into a beautiful book. So go ahead.
Well, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining. It's great to have some of my older friends here and some people that I don't know. It's great that we'll share this time together making a creative project. So what I'm going to do is to show how to bind a very simple book, and I'll use my kids' drawings creating that. If you have other materials, if you have your own sketches, some scrap paper that you want to turn into an artist, a blank notebook, you can also use those. One example that I posted on the website is this one, and this is, I tried to make a book for my son who is about to turn 8 every year for his birthday, using all the drawings and doodles and whatnot that he created that year. And I also have a typewriter. I don't know if you guys happen to have one around you, or you can also write notes in them. Because what I do is I always keep a log on my phone. Every time he says something silly and interesting and magical, I just immediately write it down on my phone so I don't forget about it. So I include those things into these pages. So hopefully years from now, when he gets these, when he's 18, 21, 33, whenever, he'll have a really nice record of our memories together. I'm just gonna show this one first and read some of the notes. So these are really random. They're not in an order. Just some marks that he made. This page says, "We can't start a fire in fire." August 8th, 2016. So again, it's a very simple binding. We'll do this in the end. I don't cut the drawings, the pages. I just fold them. So they open up all differently. And sometimes we get these little pages because we have to bind them. So I fold them according to, like, everything needs to fold onto each other so that we have at least a couple inches to bind. This is March 8th, 2015. I'm going to be Superman when I grow up. I will have my blanket on my back and my t-shirt, and I will go up high. So again, the center one is important. So you need to choose something that, you know, because this opens up fully. So I usually choose the one that I like the most from that pile. And this is a funny one I'm gonna read. This is 2018, I think. Am I allowed to say the F word? What is the F word? I say, Milo, I don't know. A kid in my karate class knows. It's worse than stupid and ugly combined. I say, you're not allowed to say stupid. I will when I'm first grade. Okay. So I just write down these notes because I like remembering them. And yeah, so this is one of the books that I made. I also make in the similar binding fashion. Whenever I travel to a new city, I collect papers. Like this is a butcher paper that I stole from a butcher shop in Amsterdam. I write my own memories and marks, and I also bind them it's in the same very quickly. And I also do projects that are a little bit more special. These go to special collections and stuff. So they're limited edition artist books. But they all use the same thing, you know, ordering what you want to include, the content, and then binding them with, you can use a thread, anything that you can find at home. So this is the workshop about using your kids' art. If you are like me, you probably have piles of drawings and doodles of your child's. I don't throw, and I can't throw anything, so it's kind of crazy. But it is a good way for me. Every time I need to do a book, I revisit this file, so I remember things. First of all, because once I put them here months and months and years, I don't look at them, so I forget what is in here. I already went in this morning and grabbed a few things, which I'm gonna show now. One important thing, we need a cover. We want the cover to be a heavier paperweight, ideally, if you have anything heavier. So for this one, I chose this painting. So it's on a cardstock-ish paper. If you don't have anything on a cardstock, you could use anything like your child's favorite cereal box. I'm sure he would like to remember that in 30 years, right? So anything that has a heavier feeling, you can use that as the cover. So how you're going to fold, what dimensions you want your book to be is sort of related to your cover. So this one is, I guess it's 12 by 12, probably. So I fold it in the middle, so it's going to be a longer book than this one. So it's going to be a little challenging to find all the other drawing materials that I, just laid on my desk already to, sort of put them in this taller book format. So if you need a couple minutes to gather your materials, or should we do that, or should I just keep going?
I think just keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move my camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. So as I said, this will determine our format, proportions for the book. If you have a spoon, if you have a bone folder, if you have anything, this is an ice popsicle stick that I just found because it seems like all my bone folders at school. So it is important to score and fold the pages because once we are binding, we want them to be really thin, really nicely pressed so they won't move. So this is my cover. So I'm going to go through some pages and basically see what makes the most sense putting, inside and what pages should go one another. So I chose different textures, different kind of marks. I found this newspaper that he totally destroyed the image, not destroyed, but covered up so I can't see the image. But I put a date on it, Milo 2015. So apparently it was an important thing for us at that moment. And I used my typewriter and wrote down one of the memories that I, noted earlier. A golden tree grows out of musical seeds, giving out instruments. This one I typed, my mouth is desiring water. What a lovely way to say I'm thirsty.
I have a question. Do you connect the words and the images at the same time, or does that happen usually later on?
It's later. I just did these this morning. Like I took the drawings out of the pile and I revisited my log and just wrote them down. Because I don't remember when he said these and when he created the drawings, to be honest. It's just a random juxtaposition at this point.
Okay.
But it looks like water, so it makes sense. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, again, this is the cover, so I'm gonna see what fits into this format. This is pretty good. It fits perfectly. This also fits. So what the first step would be then, the ones that fit perfectly into my cover is to fold them from the middle. We don't have to worry about the order, the sequence, not sequence. We could just like fold them and just to get them ready. I have a longer sheet of paper over here, and I don't want to cut anything because obviously he put our names here. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be a trifold. So if this is the middle, I cut in, basically fold it in 3 sections. This could be a center fold, but I don't want it to, this could be the middle actually. Okay, I'm gonna wait on this one for a second. So this is a large sheet of paper that I think it would bring nice color into the book and the texture. But what I'm gonna do, I have to trim this one because it's way bigger than what I need. I don't like to cut things. You can cut it if you have scissors, but I'm just gonna tear it. So if this is the size, I'm just gonna use my ruler to, and there's nothing important on this, it's just splatter. So I think it's just to bring some texture to the book. So now I can fold this in the middle. You also need to decide which one to be the front. I think this is more exciting. So now when you open, this is going to be the first page, it has the name over here, so it's kind of cute. This will open up. And then maybe I'll put this one over here. Oh, here's a note. In the future, sports cars will look like chickens. Maybe I'll put the newspaper over here. How about I switch these so I have similar sizes? So you want basically things to, you can always switch before we bind. You can turn the pages and see if you're liking the order, the textures overlapping. If you want to add more things, you can add more things. I have this lovely writing over here. I don't know how this would work, but what we could do, perhaps a 4 fold. So it opens up fully. I don't have to cut. So I'm gonna fold in the middle. So this will go like this, and then perhaps, well, it's gonna go a little, that's fine. So this will open like this, and you'll close it in. Well, you can decide if you like these or not. I kind of don't, so I will have to reconfigure. If I could trim a little bit, which seems like I can. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that this goes inside. Mark over here. Sadly, we're going to have to trim just a little bit. I'll do the same over here. I think for this one, what I want to do is I want this to open fully. So I'm going to have a little bit fold on this side so I can bind from here. And then, so this is going to be attached in the middle. And then this will be folded like this. So there will be a lot of things that you need to open up once you bind, which is always fun. All right. Any questions so far? All good?
Good.
Good, great. Okay. This is a pretty one, so I'm going to also include this one. I am going to trim this one, sadly. So I want it to fit in here. You wouldn't know. Now that we have most of the pages ready, I think it's important to see if you're liking what you're seeing. Like, you know, there are some color decisions. I really like that this blue is continuing over here, just completely by chance. So these graphic elements, I'm looking to see if there's anything I can use. I lost all the pages that I just folded. Oh, right here. What I can use over there to sort of maybe match a little bit. Maybe this one would be interesting. Inside here, I'm gonna break this busy look maybe with this dark black, or contrast it with this newspaper clipping. And then maybe I'll place this over here. Maybe I'll put this guy over here. Wait, I want this long note to be my middle, because I want this to open fully. So this is gonna be over here. And I think the last thing I'll do is to put this guy over here. So this book is gonna be a little crazy. Are you guys following me? All right. Okay, so then put everything in and make sure that it's there. There's a question. Is that a question?
How many sheets are we going for? Rachel asks.
This is all of the sheets that I will be using. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. in my case. But if you have more, it's perfectly fine.
Is there ever an overdone? Is it that it would be too thick to bind?
Depending on your cover, it wouldn't be too thick to bind. Also depending on the paperweight that you're using for inside.
Okay.
So if these are really flimsy, so I think it's fine. I don't think so.
Okay.
But for the binding, no, I think it should be fine.
Okay.
Just flatten as much as you can. So one trick will be, obviously this is kind of crazy, but we can do it. You could use paper clips to, if you have any. If you don't have any paper clips, you can use anything to have a little bit of weight to keep the pages in place. If you have nothing, use your phone. That's heavy enough. But I'm going to use paper clips. Because it is really important that all the centers align perfectly when we are punching our holes for the binding. Maybe this will be a better. So you want this part to be nice and crisp. So the binding we'll use is this. I drew this over here. So there we will punch 5 holes. For that, we need to find, should I put it, how should I? I didn't think this through. Over here? Paper, I have another paper.
That works.
Cool.
Paper clip?
Don't have the thingies.
This is going to be a whole new, you know, crafting pandemic fashion where we can use our bodies as the
Bulletin boards.
yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah, it's perfect.
So if you have a pencil, you can roughly see where the middle, you can roughly mark the middle point. But I have a ruler in hand, so it's 12 inches. So I will mark the middle for 6. And then you need to have 2 on each side. So I'll do 1 inch apart. And make sure that all your pages are long enough so they go in the go through the thread, right? So if you have if you have shorter, as long as it is within this range, it should be okay. All right. So anything that you can use to punch your holes would be fine. You can use one of these guys. You can use just a needle. It's perfectly fine.
Arzu, Renata is asking, is this the outside?
This is the inside. Outside would be like this.
Okay.
Is that?
Yeah. So she's working from the inside middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are marking from inside. I think it's easier because you can also hold everything in place. So I'll start, just make sure all the pages are nice and snug. That's the most important thing. Just poke the holes that you can, you have to punch it all the way out. I'll do it this way too. See that it's coming out. Here. Okay, so from inside you should be seeing, and from outside too, 5 holes. Should I wait a little? All good?
I think we're good.
I have a question, Arzu. If you don't have an awl, is there a tool that you would recommend? Did you say
needle
a
itself?
thick needle?
Yeah.
The tapestry. Okay.
Ice pick.
Ice pick. Michelle has some, but we'd have to take her art apart.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be too thick though, because then it gets really loose.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, the thread that you're gonna, I'll be using a thicker thread.
Yeah.
So it's okay, this size, but if you're gonna use like a regular sewing needle, sewing thread, so you want your holes to be thinner. So use just regular sewing needle for that. All right. So I have labeled these A, B, C, D, E. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll zoom in. A, B, C, D, E. C is going to be the middle hole, and we will start with the middle and end with the middle. All right? Putting this back on my. Can you guys see? So this is, maybe I'll hold it like this. All right. So I have a long thread. You don't need it this long, but it's also sometimes I like to leave things inside. Just, you know, I don't cut it. I just leave the thread inside. It's an aesthetics decision. So we will start in the middle. Go all the way out. I need to see, I can't, seeing it upside down is confusing me. Start. Yeah, so we'll go back in the next one. Doesn't come out, okay. And then come out from number A. I hope I'm not messing this up. Hopefully, we may have to do it again. Looking at myself and trying to do it is a little confusing. Okay, we are going back in from this one over here.
Is there a name for this style of binding?
I just keep thinking, I learned it as a simple binding. There may be an official name, which sadly I can't think of it right now.
It's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch.
5-hole pamphlet stitch. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, so we did this side. So we went in from C, we went out from C, came in from B, went out from A, and then came back in from B. Now we're gonna go to this one over here. I can't read my note. So we went in from C, we went out from C. This is D. We went in from D, out from E, went back in from B, and then we're gonna go all the way to B. And do the same thing over there. And then they're gonna, so this is gonna be B, we're going out. Apparently the thread I chose is a little too thick for this, but we'll survive. Going back in from A.
Was that a really long stitch that you just did
Yes.
from C to A? Yeah, okay.
Yes, from B to D.
B to D. Okay. All right.
Then went back in from A.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back from D again. And then again from the middle. Sadly tore a little bit, but we're going back from the last one is went back from the middle one more time. So it's going to come back to the middle so we can tie a knot.
I see.
So I'll show this one more time. I think this helps. So it goes basically, so they come back from the middle point.
Arzu, Renata is asking, I don't understand the stick. Renata, do you want to hit your space bar and ask your question?
Stick or stitch?
Yeah, the stitch.
Okay, so yeah, so you have 5 holes, right?
Maybe we should unmute.
So we poked 5 holes. It really helps if we, on the book, you just put A, B, C,
So how many?
D, E.
5?
5. So one
Doesn't matter
right in the middle.
where.
And then I put the other ones like an inch and a half apart from each side.
I'm still not getting it.
So try to, when you poke your holes on the page,
Mm-hmm.
mark them like this. Sorry, it's hard to write down on the, so it's A, B, C, D, E. Let's mark them on the booklet. It's gonna help you go in and out of these numbers.
So Arzu, on your drawing, your diagram of the stitch, which side is the inside? The top of your drawing is the inside of the book?
What do you mean top of the
On your diagram, the one that's on your chest. Yeah. So the top is the inside or the bottom the inside?
That's a great question. This is outside, this is inside.
Great. That makes it a lot.
It explains better, yeah. Let me just redo the whole thing. I'm gonna cut this, or not cut it, but just remove the stitches, or remove the thread.
So 5 stitches? So 5 little holes?
5 holes. Let me redo. I think that will definitely help. So we're going to start over, okay?
Yeah, I'm marking my holes right now.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So you have the needle ready?
No.
Do you have a sewing needle and some thread?
I think so.
Arzu, go ahead and say something. Thank you.
Do I look frozen?
We're just trying to get your screen on the video.
Oh, I see, I see. Got some? You have some, Renata?
No.
Good, okay. So maybe then we can share this, or maybe a link. I'll find a link.
Yeah.
Stitch.
Well, Renata, when you go back after we're going to record this, and so you can go back when you have a needle and thread and refer back to this video and be able to follow it.
Okay.
You can pause it and look at it as you're working. I think that'll work out well for you too. Okay.
Okay, and I'll redo it, so maybe we can edit that part so it would be smoother. It was confusing for me to see it upside down.
Yeah, that's great.
Now that I did it again, it will be easier. Okay, so so we go in from hole C, and yet you want to leave some thread over here for knotting at the end. So we're going to go back in from B, we'll go out again from A, we'll go back in from B, oops. And from B to D, I'm gonna have a big jump. Go back in from number, or not number, E. And now it's gonna be pretty solid. Go back out of D and return back from the middle. And if you don't want your thread to be this long, or again, like I sometimes just leave it in there as a bookmark or however you wanna, or just as decoration. So you can do a very simple knot. Remove the needle, obviously. Don't lose it. So now all the pages are attached together, and you have a very simple book.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the drawings, you know. I do what I do sometimes, like once I have the skeleton of the book, I go back in and sometimes like with tape, or if you have photographs, I print photographs and stitch them onto the papers, or just add some goofy little things, you know, just to make it a little bit more fun. The photos, add some, you know, put things with tape.
You could put in the locks of hair.
You can put it there, yeah, definitely, whatever you want, basically, whatever you want to save. Yeah, I usually don't give these. I do give, you know, I did give this to him for his birthday, but I took it back immediately. Because I was like, I'm going to save this in a good place for you. And
I was just about to ask, so do you keep anything like in archival boxes or things like that, or that's just not a worry with this?
No, like I put them in, you know, the plastic envelopes usually, like whatever I want to keep things in a safer place, or in a drawer, like where I keep all my special stuff. Yeah, they definitely don't belong to his room. Yeah, any questions?
Why don't you all unmute and we can ask any questions or anything else?
I'm slowly doing my demo.
Oh, nice.
Anyone else work on one? Want to show?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm almost done.
yeah.
I just have a suggestion for our teacher.
Yeah.
Have a copy of the diagram to put up in the corner or something, and have a copy for yourself sitting on your desk.
Right. I almost wanted to take a picture and share it on the screen, but I didn't know how the sharing was going to happen. So
No worries.
Oh, it's fine. I posted in the chat.
Approach.
In the chat, I posted a screenshot of a diagram of that stitch. So if anyone wants to look
Oh,
at it.
that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Did you
I
see it?
screenshot it, but I didn't know that. I didn't think about posting
In
it.
the chat. Did anyone try to click on it?
It says I have to download it.
Oh, you should just click it and then it will download. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning how
I see
to
it. I see it.
Oh, good.
It's a lovely diagram.
It's just the same thing, basically.
I've been using the same thing for ages now. This is the only drawing I have.
Make another one. Hold on, I will be done in a second here, so I can show you mine. But
I may have, yeah, my kids are in their 30s. I'm going to have to dig back in their boxes and make them into beautiful books now. That would be so fun.
I kind of do. I do travel books like this, but I don't cut all the parts out. I just randomly throw things together as we go along. Road trip books is what I do.
Right.
Could I see your example, like the inside of your book? I don't know. I guess I might not be able to tell by the value contrast because there is none, right? The thread was white and the pages are right. Okay, so mine looks like this right now. So I have,
Looks like this.
I needed to go back. Oh, I'm sorry. See what I mean? I need this stitch in there. I didn't do it
Didn't do
perfectly.
that long stitch, yeah.
I didn't do the long stitch. Okay, all right.
Yeah, if you do it correctly, there's thread on the inside and the outside between every hole.
Right.
I got it on the back side, but not on the inside. I know what I did wrong. I felt like I was doing it wrong. It's really hard to work with thread.
Crystal, yours looks great.
It's not binded yet,
Huh?
but I'll do that next. I didn't get the picture of the screenshot. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place.
Are you in the chat? Yeah, so if you look
I
above,
see the
I don't see
I
it
don't-
myself, actually. I
It
don't,
doesn't come up for me either.
Yeah.
I got
it.
but maybe you can do a screenshot?
Let me do a screenshot. Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, that one.
I'm gonna be, well, are we still recording?
I should probably stop. Okay, stop.
Do you
I'll
want to
just say thank you, Arzu. It was amazing. Don't go anywhere, but we're going to stop recording.